I'm going to take you through a social media content plan.
Okay.
Basically, we're going to do what we would do. We do it about every 8 weeks with Martin to get his social media plan set up. So I'm going to take you through step by step how we do that, and then give you time to plan your next 4 weeks on social media in detail. So no one will have an excuse of I didn't know what to say or I didn't know what to write anymore. Yeah? Perfect. We're going to use your mind dump that you did earlier, so make sure you have that handy. Hope no one's chucked it out. Does there, just for reference for myself, is everyone on Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah? No. Okay. Ignore the next question then. Does everyone have a Facebook page and profile?
Yes.
Yeah? Yep. Okay, who's on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about, we're going to get really specific about certain mediums, but the stuff that you can post in the plan that we generate, you will be able to use across all of them if you wish. Completely up to you. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into this. First thing I'm going to talk about is the customer journey. So, this isn't always necessarily about selling something, whether you realise it or not. You posting to your friends is you selling yourself. This is, I want you to be my friend, this is about me, like me please. That's the sell, pretty much. So, what we're going to talk about is the journey that someone would come on when they first see you. So the first step is awareness. It's all about just putting your face out there, putting your message, whatever it is, out there for as many people as possible to see. That's the first step. You need to make more people aware of you, of your message, and what you're going to provide them, the value you're going to provide. Yeah? Next step is bonding. So this is a big one for those who are building a business on Facebook at the moment. Facebook is all about adding value, and that's where this bonding comes in, okay? Once they're aware of you, they need to like you, okay? The way that you do that is you provide value, and by that, I don't mean posting about the latest product that you've got, I mean getting to know you. So this is where you tell them what's challenged you that day and how you got through it. You tell them the amazing restaurant that you discovered down the road. You tell them the lesson you learned 10 years ago that you still apply every day. It's everything that you do to make you who you are. That's what you share, and that's how they bond with you. So that's how you establish what we term a tribe, you know, like-minded people who are going to follow you, who are going to connect with you, and then are more likely to progress to the next step. So this is when people this is when people have got to know you, have learned about your message, and then they evaluate whether they're going to stay following you, whether they're going to interact with you, whether they're going to engage, or whether they're just going to float off into the distance. And you have no control over that, okay? As long as you are being authentic, the right people will get to this point and be like, yeah, I'm going to hang out with this person. Obviously, I'm talking a little metaphorically here. Doesn't mean they're actually going to come hang out at your house online. They're likely to interact with you, follow you, that sort of thing. But then if you'd like to invite them around to your house, feel free. But I'm talking about online. So this is the point where it's kind of the tipping point. By this stage, they've become aware of you, then they've bonded with you, they've become connected, and they've either decided they want to stay with you, or they're going to drift off into the sunset on their own, which is perfectly fine. Next step, they've made their decision. So now they are with you, okay? This is where you get raging fans. This is where you continue to provide value and you establish raging fans to be fair, most of you here, you are raging fans of Dave, Martin, Lifestyle by Laptop, whichever one you connect most with. The reason you are here is because you have gone through this step. You have become aware of them, so you know who they are. You've bonded with them. Whether it was met at an event or whether it has been online, in some way you've gotten to know who they are. You've evaluated them. You've been like, yeah, no, I get this guy. Like, I understand what he's coming from and it means something to me. You've made the decision. You know what? I'm going to follow this person. I'm going to align my life, however way, whether it be a big part or a small part, whether it's just business, whether you want to get married to him, doesn't matter. You have made that decision that you are going to align yourself with Dave, Martin, whoever it was that got you here. And then the final step of the customer journey is advocacy and retention. So this is the ultimate goal for anyone wanting to build a business, whether it be online, face-to-face, doesn't matter how you do it. This is the ultimate goal. So you want people who have gone beyond being fans and engaging with you on Facebook and sending you a little message about how they loved what you posted. These people are the ones that go to their friends and go, hey, you should have seen what Dave posted the other day. Hey, I was at an event on the weekend. It was awesome. You should come along. Okay? And the only way you get people here is by adding value at every single step. Okay? Lots of people looking at me like, oh gosh, this sounds scary. It's not that hard. It's really about just being yourself, and the right people will get all the way to the end. It's when you think about it too hard, oh, it's got to be perfect, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. It doesn't have to be anything except you. And then the right people will get to the end. Yeah? Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. So how do we get there? Trust. First one. Huge, huge part of it. The moment you start saying one thing, and Martin talked about it this morning, you say one thing on your page about how you value health and wellness and you love a healthy lifestyle, and then they go onto your profile and you're smashed and you're doing drugs on the weekend, that trust is gone. There is no way you're going to get to advocacy and retention. Okay, so be really, really authentic, which is the next point. Just really be you. If you're smashed and do drugs on the weekend and you're trying to build a business, chances are your best customers are going to be people who also get smashed and drunk and do drugs on the weekend. So just be you. I don't actually goes way against my values, but be authentic about it. Okay? Don't try and fake it.
Yeah.
If you're that person, you go on your journey and you do that, but don't try and fake being happy and lovey and wholesome and healthy. Yeah? Just be you. And when you do that, you're going to add value to people. Okay? The large part of, I think I was having a conversation with Coleman and Monica when we were doing that other exercise. Value is literally just sharing you. Okay? You don't need to think about, overthink about what you're going to say, what you're going to post. Feel it and just post it. Okay? If it feels right for you in that moment, that's the right thing for you to post. That's the right thing for you to say, because that's you. Don't think about Aunt Mary's going to see it and she might not like it. It doesn't matter. Aunt Mary, chances are she's not going to be one of your customers and she's not going to follow you anyway. You're not going to get any engagement from her. So just do what feels right for you in the moment. And I promise you will get advocacy and retention. Yeah? Moving on. Valuable content. As I mentioned, we're going to be going back to the mind dump. So this morning you would have mapped out, hopefully, a whole heap of words that mean something to you or have played a role in your life. Could have been an experience that you thoroughly enjoyed, that you didn't enjoy, a lesson that you learnt, anything like that. That is all value. That is all valuable and someone will align with you when you speak that. Okay? This is more about the nitty-gritty, okay? The value and what to add is a bit more heartfelt, What we're going to do this afternoon and what you're going to be able to walk away with at the end of the day is a really solid, structured plan. We do this, one, because sometimes structure's good. Life sometimes gets in the way. If you're trying to build a business, being consistent on social media is important. So sometimes it's good just to have a structure that you don't really have to think about. Okay, on this day I'm going to post this, this, this and this. And it's already organised for you. Then if, sometimes it's just the one post, but that's okay. As long as you've got that structure there. So just in case life does get in the way that day, you've got something to fall back on. The next reason you would put a plan in place is if you have a particular event or a particular thing that's coming up that you need a lead-in time for. Whether it's you yourself have set a goal, like in a month I want to have this many followers, or in a month I want to have this much engagement, I want to have brought in this many leads. Whatever your goal is, sometimes it's not necessarily an event, then having a lead-in really helps having the structure as well. Okay, so you can go, on this day I'm going to do this many posts so I can reach this many people, and it's going to lead in to me having this many followers, because I need to start out broad. Next reason, consistency. As I said, life gets in the way. It's best to be consistent. Having a plan helps that. And it helps reduce the pressure, just in case life does get in the way, in case something happens. If you already have the plan set out, you don't have to think about it too much that day, which is always handy. And as it says down the bottom, it's just clever. Okay, anything with a little bit of structure tends to work out better than winging it, and especially when it comes to building a business, building a brand. Structure is definitely helpful. Intentional postings. So what we're going to do this afternoon is really step by step work out the intention of what you're posting, why you're posting it, and then give you a plan to make sure each one of your posts is leading towards that reason why. Yeah? As you can see, this girl is very intent on what she's doing.
Ace Ventura's feel.
Types of posts. So I like to think that we can be a little bit creative with what we're posting. You've probably heard us speak about, especially if you're in the community, the power of a Facebook Live or going live on social media. At the moment, the algorithm just loves it, okay? There's video, and it's the most authentic way for people to get to know you. You can't fake it on a live, okay? It's pretty much impossible. You can put a funny filter on your face if you want, but you can't fake it. What you say in the moment is there on social media, okay? Other ways you can do it, you can do videos and post up selfie photos, other photos, whether it be of your dog, common one on my Facebook, food, where you are, scenery, that sort of thing. They all count. Quotes, Mr. Cotton loves quotes, so on his social media you can find quotes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sharing articles. The big thing about articles and sharing on social media is make sure you're not directing them away from Facebook in particular. So if you find an article that you really align with, or a blog that you really align with, try and find it on social media. So just as an example, one of the ones I follow, it's called Elephant Journal, and it's all about mindful posting, and they write blogs and they write articles. If I find something that I really like there, I always go to their Facebook page, find where they posted it, and then share from there. Because Facebook won't recognise that as me sending someone away from Facebook. Does that make sense? It's the same with videos. If you want to share a video, if you can, download it and then upload it onto your page, but credit them, but don't share from YouTube. for example. It just won't reach anywhere. Yes?
Just a question about if you wanted to share a video from YouTube, you'd have to download it, but to download it you have to be paid on it, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. So depending on what you're wanting to share from YouTube, like things like, another one of my favourites is Jay Shetty, okay? He has an amazing YouTube channel, and he started on YouTube, okay? But if I find a video on YouTube that I really like of his, I'll go to his Facebook page and scroll through there to find the video and then share it from there.
Right.
Because you're not taking them away from Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah? Makes sense?
I've done this before, another thing you can do, because I've done that too, it's taken forever to find it on their page.
Depends on where it is.
Yeah, sometimes, because it's an old video, right? Sometimes I'll literally go into, I've got this program called, YouTube MP3 Converter or whatever. I'll download the actual video itself, right? And then maybe I'll put an intro, my intro of, hey guys, I watched this video, it's amazing, you got to watch it, and then put it together, upload it on my page, and do him as the credits.
Yeah.
The copyright.
Yeah, so you can download it, like as we were saying, you can download it. If you want to download directly from YouTube without extra software, you do have to pay for the YouTube.
Alright.
Okay, if you have extra software, there are some free downloaders, there's also some paid downloaders. They all have various different things. Some will put a watermark. It's up to you which way you want to go. But if you don't download it and then upload it again, going to their Facebook page and sharing it from there means that you're not leaving Facebook. So Facebook's like, oh, this is cool, we're still on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook's a little bit selfish. You can also do written things if you don't want to have a photo. Yeah.
I was going to say, isn't it the same for the YouTube algorithm? So if you don't promote, like you keep sending them products in the link in the description, then they can ban you or take you off YouTube.
Yeah, and they'll reduce your reach.
And they'll reduce your traffic.
Yeah. So anything, it doesn't really matter, like we talk about Facebook because that's mainly what we use, but any of them, except for like Instagram and Facebook, because essentially they're the same thing, but if you try and send them away from that, they won't like it. So they'll reduce your reach. Some of them even, it's like a Tony Robbins webinar thing, and I'd signed up to it and they sent me a message, obviously the bot, Tony Robbins sent me a message, but the bot sent me a message being like, oh, you can watch it live here. They were doing it live on YouTube, they sent me the message in Facebook and it got blocked. So you couldn't actually, like even Tony Robbins wasn't above it, you couldn't actually click on YouTube to see that. Cool. So yeah, these are the types of posts. We're going to go into our book. We're going to go to page 29. So the first half of this is kind of recapping this morning. So you're going to look back at the branding section that you did with Martin. And what is your brand? I want you to write down what you would consider your brand, whether that be what the other person saw as well or not, but what you want your brand to be.
So
And
when
then,
you say brand, like mine's
no, before that.
before that.
The exercise that we did before the mind dump. We were talking about branding. When you swapped with someone else about your social media. Yeah.
So
what's your brand?
So how you would sum that up, basically.
What's your brand? And then write down your top 5 values. Okay? Give you a couple of minutes to do that. Yeah? Yep. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is where you want to go over the next month. So on the second half of that page, you want to choose a focus or an outcome. This might be, I'm not sure if any of you do have events or something that you want to launch.
Yes.
You know, something like that. That would be your focus for that month. Okay? Other people, it might be realigning your brand because the exercise that you did this morning wasn't reflective of what you wanted it to be. Okay? Others might be broadening your audience. anything like that. It doesn't have to be a specific event. Whatever your focus is going to be for the next month. Think about that.
Beth, sorry, is this just a focus on social media, or your focus on?
No, just social media.
Just social media.
Social media at the moment. So what is your focus for the next month for social media? And then choose 5 different types of posts. I'll scroll back to this one. 5 different types of posts that you'd be comfortable posting about regularly. So if you're not yet at the stage where you're comfortable doing lots of Facebook Lives, don't put Facebook Lives down. You need to be ones that you are comfortable doing. Okay? Give you a couple of minutes to do that. Oh, like a gift. You know the funny like.
I do think so.
How does it go then?
Like this.
That's exactly that. What are you saying? Broadening your people to see you?
Yeah, broadening your audience.
And how can you do that? Is there a certain...
You post lots,
Oh, okay. How many times a day?
as much as you can.
Right, 50?
Can you post 50 times a day? I would probably limit it to like 8 maybe.
You've got your own.
A day?
Yeah, if you're wanting to broaden your audience, you
So
need
would
to
you
post.
do it like at 6 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock,
Have you?
3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 11 o'clock kind of thing through the day and do...
Yeah, we'll
I'll
talk about
focus.
more about that at the timing in a bit.
Right.
But if you don't yet have stats on when your audience is online,
Yes.
then yes, you would spread it out.
Right, so that broadens you, so then you can get very specific about who your target market is, after you've got
Yeah,
like
sometimes
an
you've got to go
idea.
out first,
Yes.
and then you've got to narrow it down.
Narrow it back down. Right, so this is how you broaden it, you just go, help a letter. Right.
Could you say you're going to have it then? You start to talk about
No, so a stock image is one that's not necessarily like the first thing you like. If I post a picture of Fiji, I've never actually been to Fiji, but I'd like to go to Fiji, and in my post I might talk about how I want to go to Fiji. So that image that I use will be like a stock image, because it's not mine, it's not personal to me.
So do people work out that they're not your images, that they're stock images?
Technically, if it's on your business page, you should be crediting where it's come from.
Right, okay.
Unless it's a non-copyright image, which you can get on.
Right.
Yeah, so your profile, your personal one, that's where you have friends. Your page, your business one, that's where you have clients.
So exactly, you're not saying yeah straight away.
No, you can, but because they're free, you don't have to.
Can you advertise for
You can, I don't think it would be very effective. Yeah. For Shopify, it's more like a shop-front audience, so people go there to buy things rather than experiences. Yeah. It's more of a like add to your shopping cart kind of medium. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It is easier, especially without becoming like a human billboard. You see some of the ones you go like, oh, this top is from this brand, this drink is right. You know, yeah.
So Derek,
So you get do your business page
LinkedIn or a link tree or a link tree. Yeah, LinkedIn is another social media platform, but it's targeted more at professionals. Yeah.
If you got a business page,
Yeah, you can have, like, if you want to spend your entire life on social media, you can have, there's like, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Anyway, like there was literally about 50.
Really?
But you need lots of time to be posting.
So you can have two things, like so a focus for an event and your broadening. So like say my event is like in 8 weeks. So can I broaden it for the next 4 weeks plus focus on the event as well? Is that too far out or not?
No, definitely not. I think if you already have a date locked in for an event,
Yes.
then as soon as you lock that date in, you should be planning all the way back.
Right.
Yeah. The first bit, so like at least your first month, if you're 8 weeks out, at least the first month will be just seeding. So just talking about things to do with the event. Is it a kettlebells event?
Yes.
So it would literally just be like you at the gym doing an exercise, or so nothing really direct about the event. But things that might happen at the event, not talking about, not selling it at all, but just seeding, talking about your kettlebells, talking about why you love it, the value of it, that sort of thing. And then as you get closer, about the event. Yeah. Okay. Next page. This section here is all about your real life. Okay. So for the next 4 weeks, I want you to sit there and think about any important birthday, any event. Do you have a concert? Do you have a workshop that you're attending? Is there anything in your real life that you'll get value from that you'll be able to put into your social media? Okay? So if 3 weeks ago I was doing this, I would have been like, this weekend I'm going to be at Design Your Lifestyle all weekend. So I'm going to be able to do lots of lives. Yeah? That sort of thing. So look at whether you have to get your calendar out, whether you have to get your phone out. It's your mum's birthday, and one of the values is family. So on that day, you're probably going to do at least one post about how much you love your mum and family. Yeah? So think about the different things in your life over the next 4 weeks that you could then leak almost into your social media. Okay? When we did Martin's a couple of months ago, it was like Liverpool was going to be playing in the Champions League or something. Anyway, that's a big thing for him. So we put that in because we knew that the next day he would be able to post about that, whether it was good or bad. Luckily it was good, so it was a good post. But that's the kind of thing that, anything that's going to be important to you, chances are it might be important to someone that follows you as well.
It's funny you mentioned football, because if you're going to like a VIP event like Manchester, they're coming in to
Oh yeah, don't talk about that. Let's.
they're coming here and you're going to like meet the players. You could film that and would that
you would be posting something about that because your audience, chances are, they also like football or they like Manchester United. Martin's in your audience and he doesn't. So
your brand isn't directly aligned with that. So.
But why doesn't your brand, if that's such an important thing to you, which it obviously is, because I'm assuming paying to go and get VIP over
for free, yeah.
Okay. So you don't like Manchester United?
Absolutely not, no.
Okay, don't post about that.
I don't like Usher, talk about the tomatoes you're taking in to throw at the players.
Yeah.
I can't stand
Talk about things that, like,
How clean they are.
you do have an attachment to. You do.
No,
maybe you twist it to be like when you get the opportunity to do something that you wouldn't ordinarily do.
Yeah.
Okay? So, because that's something that would align to you. Because you've been like, oh, this is an awesome opportunity. It's not something I would have paid to do, but it's an opportunity and I'm all about taking opportunities. Yeah? And that's the message that's you, and that's the message that you want your followers to see. So do that. So it's still an event, still a big thing, but not,
Yeah. You've got to drive the correct message.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So just a question on that. If it's your business page, I've seen other things on Instagram. If you had a ticket that you wanted to give away, or something like that, that if you like, share and whether you pay, then you get a ticket. Is that another way? Like, obviously, he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, you can. Like, that's what social media is about. Like, sharing and giving. If you happen to have things like that, then like cooking course. I'd like to give away a ticket, like, share and follow. It's a great way to expand your audience. Tag 3 friends below. Everyone's going to see your post. Playing
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Speak to Carolyn. Look at this cross marketing that we're doing
Healthy
here
cooking.
within the group.
I can't cook. That's so funny.
Healthy cross nutrition.
So take some time now to go through on this page. We've got 4 weeks. Look at the dates of what it is and what's going to be happening in your life. Your mum's birthday, is it your birthday, your dog's birthday, anything like that. Kids' birthdays.
What if you really can't think of anything kind of like?
Nothing? What are you going to be doing for the next 4 weeks?
Working.
That means you just got back from holidays.
Because I mean, if you've been on holidays, I mean, you've maybe potentially got a whole heap of content so you can reflect.
Yeah. When we get to the next page, you'll be able to use that to reflect. But look at it, yeah. If you just, that's okay. That's fine. We'll take a few minutes to go through this, but yeah, look at your life. If you need to look up your mum's birthday to double check, then do it. I won't tell her. And if you have a spare ticket, Monica's available.
Or we did time blocking yesterday. Go, I want something there, so I'm going to block out time to go to the beach. I'm going to block out time to do this that will reflect what you're about. Like I said to Carly a few weeks ago, you've got to go out and be who you are and create those opportunities. Because I think of Carly and I think of beach and I think of her, you know, sat at a pool by the gym and whatever else. It's like if you're not doing it, you've got to create it.
Yeah. So I am doing those things, but that's in those moments.
That's your everyday though.
But that's cool.
That's all right. That'll come into play when we go through each day. But yeah, this is about things that you have, things that you want. Will you come to Perth or not? You're just going to be working flat out because you've been up here the whole time. Things like that.
So for me, you would put videos like of me training and that kind of thing, or me just going to events, or what would you do?
In the next bit we will talk about that.
Yeah, for 4 weeks.
Yeah, but over the next 4 weeks, do you have any events, any training sessions that you want?
Oh, I have training sessions. Yeah.
Any
Pretty
particular
full
ones?
Yeah, lots. I train 6 days a week.
Yeah, but are there any like special ones? Like, is there a practice?
Yes. Like with me practicing with my athletes, practicing, everyone's training madly.
Yeah. Put those sorts of things down.
Yeah.
Special guests.
I do have, yes.
I love when there's people that have insights into their life. It's going to be like fishing and just random stuff.
I've got no idea.
You don't have stuff happening in your lives. I promise you've got stuff happening. You just don't
I
realise
just
it.
don't think about it that way. Put it out there. Yeah. To me, it's just training. It's just training and eating and training and eating.
Do you have a question, Dee?
Oh, stretching, sorry.
Okay, that's right.
Trace, I think like there, you've got to look at it and go, your tribe. You know, you don't have to be groundbreaking. It's getting that connection with your tribe. So if you're training and eating, then post about training and food, because like all you talk about is kettlebells. So realistically, like you want it to be that your tribe will align with you, because otherwise, like if you get together and it's like this person isn't who I thought they were, you know, you've got to look and go, you want them to connect with you as a person.
Yeah, otherwise I'm going to drive you as insane, because like all I do is talk about kettlebells. That's right.
And
so
if
you're not
you want some other people that are
kettlebells.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we go through your daily posting, then you'll find that comes up a lot.
Right.
And that's okay, because that's your tribe. That's what you want.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
And if I don't have people who like me, it's because they're not my tribe. Is that
They're not your
how
tribe.
it is?
Yeah, exactly.
If they're still following you on Facebook, then lucky you, but they're probably not likely to engage.
Right.
And that's okay. You don't need them to.
Okay.
You don't need 1 million people. Like
No.
with 1,000 solid engaged followers, you could have $1 million business. You need enough people who become those raging fans
Right.
that will absolutely
It's all about
follow and advocate what you do. So you don't need loads, you just need people who get you.
Right. Beautiful.
And also remember that when there's a lot of people that don't interact on social media, so they're still following you. They still like this post you see that you like, but you don't actually physically like it or comment on it. People are always watching, but like I was chatting to Ricky before, when you're known as the kettlebell queen, that's all you're known for, then your target audience is very small, but that's why we did the mind mapping with them. Because then you're actually talking about being a mother, being a grandmother, actually about cooking and preparation, and all of a sudden you're speaking to everybody, not just kettlebell people. Because when you're talking about kettlebells, you're not connecting with me, but when you're talking about health and nutrition, I'm listening.
Right, so I'm broadening my range straight away. Right, gotcha.
So, has everyone gone through the next 4 weeks? We've kind of sort of stepped in. Around. No, you don't need to have a post on every day. We're going to, yeah, if you've got anything in the next, because the next exercise that we're doing, which is 31, we're actually going to map this out. So before we get started, we're going to look at a couple of things that are good posting practice. So the ratio that I've got up here, has anyone seen this before? 10:4:1? So this is particularly for your page or when you're talking about your business. Every 15 posts, you really only want one that's like Sally. So for people in LBL, you really only want one that has your link. Okay? 15. Okay? So you have 10 that are literally just you providing value. This is what I did today. I was at the beach and I felt this. Blah, blah, whatever. This is my dog and it makes me feel loved. 4 is when you sort of talk about the business but you're not promoting it. So, I got to work at home in my pajamas today. Winning! Yeah? Talking about it but not promoting it. This one is if you want to have a life like me and get to work at home in your pajamas on a laptop doing whatever you'd like, click this link. Or button. Facebook is going away from links. But one is, do you know my point? One is like selling an actual thing.
I missed the 4.
So 4 is like,
Talking about.
I got to work at home in my pajamas today, winning.
Okay, like a semi kind of sell.
Yeah. So you mention it, you like allude to what you're doing, but you don't sell.
So
There's one that sells.
Obviously you've got the link one, but then between 1 and 4 there, for me there would be, comment in the box if you'd like to know how.
But yeah, that would be a sell. That would be a sell. So anything where you're directly asking them to do something to buy or to buy into your idea, to come to your event, anything like that, is a sell post.
So what's the 10? Sorry.
10 is just value. I was at the beach today and the waves made me feel amazing because I love connecting with nature.
Beth.
Yes.
So if you're saying 1 to 15 is your sales rep, so you're 15. Sorry, I've got your camera back.
Yeah, I can do
it's flashing out. But so you're talking about 15 posts, but are you talking about 15? Not all in one day, surely, but over.
No, not in one day. So if you only post one post a day,
over a 2-week period,
then it will take you 15 days to get there.
Right, okay.
If you're posting 3 posts a day, it will take you 5 days.
Right, got it.
So it doesn't really matter how often you do it, like how often you do it.
That's the ratio.
That's the kind of ratio that they're working on at the moment. Way more value than sell. Yeah? Because we've all probably seen those people in network marketing companies that literally every post is a sell. Yeah? Like a hand with some
magic beans
in it. Or just some oil, you know. We've all seen them. And every single post on their Facebook page is that.
It's a sell.
Yeah.
Right.
So that Facebook does not like that and you won't get any reach.
Right.
Okay? So go to 10:4:1. Interaction. It's really important that even though we do all this scheduling and even if we then schedule it, whether it be in Facebook or later or Hootsuite or whatever way you do it, making sure that once your post goes up and you start getting engagement, that you interact with people. One, it's really good for the algorithm, but 2, it helps to show you're a person. Remember, this is all about you being you. If you're posting stuff and never ever responding, they're going to be like, this is just a bot. Yeah? There's not actually a person behind it. So make sure you keep up your interaction as well. And the last thing, track your stats. Sometimes that blows people's minds, and we do lots of work on that within Lifestyle by Laptop. But it's really important to take notice of when you get engagement, what posts get engagement. Because we were, Sue's doing a whole heap of Dave's social media at the moment, and she said that his quote titles weren't getting nearly as much as his photos. And we watched, as soon as Dave started putting photos of Eve, the Eve posts just go bananas. Yeah?
She's adorable.
Eve posts go bananas.
Yes.
Here's a babe.
Martin's with Bessie.
Dave on his own gets 0.
Yeah.
Eve has already got a social media presence.
We laugh, but it's actually like the double engagement when it's Eve or Daniel. Yeah? And because people relate to that. Oh, Dave's a new dad. Oh, that's so cute. Same with dogs. Martin's post with Bessie, bananas. Yeah? Find your secret weapon.
Mine's Jaden. I get so much likes when
It's Jaden.
Jaden's 6 years old and
Okay.
cute as a button.
Yeah. So if you're comfortable doing that, if you find something, but it's really important to track your stats, whatever it is, whatever that thing is that you get lots of engagement with. If it be that you always post at the same time of day, like Martin's, he said before, he always posts when he's on the toilet in the morning. Yeah, every day.
Multitasking male.
That's when he writes his posts.
I'm pretty sure the first
So if you look at his stats on his Instagram and his Facebook, his engagement is from about the time he finished that post every morning. It goes up and then it goes down.
It literally does go down. But the whole focus around this is there's action in every sense of the word. Action, action, action. Like seriously though.
It's those kind of things
You're
that
leaning on a
you
brain
need
dump.
to. You need. Those kind of things that you need to take notice of. So if you really want to build your audience and build your engagement, build your business on social media, you need to start taking notice of those little things. Yeah? Even if it's you have to get on Facebook, it's not as much anymore, but you have to get on Facebook about 10 minutes before, go through, like people's posts, do a couple of comments, just warms the algorithm up and then post. Then
Say that again.
So if you're going to post at 9 o'clock, for example, random number, then go onto Facebook at about 8:50 and just like your friends' posts, comment on a few things, interact on Facebook and then post. Because then you've already warmed it up. Facebook's like, oh, this person's on, they're interacting, okay, yep, let's do this.
So if you're posting on your Facebook page, interact on your profile, or?
Preferably from your page.
Page, yeah, because you
But-
talk about friends and stuff, or maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you can do it with friends and on your page as well.
The key thing is we've got to become comfortable with the numbers, because as marketers, like, it isn't just making pretty pictures and videos. Like, you've got to follow the numbers, because you've got to put stuff out to the market and then see what the market likes. Like when companies, I used to do market research, and like you go and take different flavours of crisps or look at different adverts, and based on what everybody said they liked, that's what they then run as a national marketing campaign. You're doing that to your audience. You've got to find what they like and just do more of it.
And it's really, like, it's not something that you can sit here, unless you already have been posting a lot and already have a lot of engagement. It's not something you can sit here and decide today. You need to have at least sort of like a month of regular posting and tracking that, and then look at your stats.
So when you say tracking, you're just posts, or is there something in the back end?
So you can, if it's on your page, you can actually look at insights in Pages Manager, and it will tell you when people are on, when people are engaging, when your posts have gone up. Facebook is the ultimate stalker. It will literally tell you stats for everything. It's just that you need to learn how to read them. Yeah? Okay, next we're actually going to plan the next 4 weeks. So if you go to 31, you will see you have week 1. Just as a general rule, I left space for 3 posts a day. Okay? Some of you might, if that's completely the O word, we don't like to use the O word around here, but if you're like, 3 posts a day, just do what you think is realistic. I don't want to completely blow your minds. Okay? The way that we do it is we use those 5 values that you came up with, and you go, that's on Monday. So Monday's value 1, Tuesday value 2, Wednesday value 3, and then you'll get to Friday, it'll be value 5, then we go value 1, value 2 again. Then the next week, 3, 4, I'm sure you can figure that out.
Okay.
Then on that day, your theme is whatever that value is. Okay? If your value is love, then every post that you do on that day ties back to love. Doesn't mean that every post is like romantic or whatever love means to you. So you would have, in the values exercise, you would have expanded on what that means to you.
Mm-hmm.
And chances are, it had something to do with one of these things. Okay? So look at, for example, we're going to go Monday, first post. I'm going to say that it's love. Then go, okay, I'm going to talk about when I moved to Australia. I didn't move to Australia, but we'll use Martin as an example. Moved to Australia, the topic's love, and he's going to talk about how the security was gone. Okay? So how the love and security of his mum and his family and his home all of a sudden disappeared when he moved to Australia.
Okay.
All of a sudden, he has a life that he could literally talk about that for like 15 minutes if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah? So that's how you use your values that you've done, your mind dump that you did, that has a whole heap of stuff about your life, whatever you wrote down, and link them together to formulate a post. Okay? On the plan here, there is a time section. As I said earlier, for lots of you, you wouldn't have already been tracking your audience and that sort of thing. So as a general rule, do a morning, a midday, and a night. Okay? And that's how you will gain your stats.
So can I ask, sorry Beck, the type of post, is that your values? Is that where you're going to put the values in there, the type of post?
No, so your type of post is
above.
Yeah,
Right.
So the value is written above because that's for the whole day.
Yes.
Your type of post is it a photo? Is it a live stream? Is it an article? Is it a whatever it actually is going to be?
Right.
And then talk about your topic. So your topic will be
love.
So no, your value is love.
Right. So the topic.
So your topic would be Australia, moving to Australia.
Right.
Anything like that.
Okay.
Whatever that's going to be that you're going to then link back to that.
Right.
And then if you've got, as you're writing it, if there's anything else that comes to mind, there's a quote that you want to draw on, if there's anything really, that's what we put in the notes. So that when you actually go to your Facebook and actually schedule and write them out, you know what you were talking about. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Right. Yes.
We're now going to do that for 4 weeks. Okay? So remember, those of you that had things going on in the 4 weeks, maybe skip to whatever those days are and write that post in first so you don't forget about it. So if you had mum's birthday on, I don't know, Friday of week 3, go to Friday of week 3 and write that you're going to do a post about your mum. Basically, we're going to give you half an hour now, I think. We're going to give you a fair bit of time now to work through that. So even if you need to find some space on the floor, stretch yourself out, get comfortable, get creative, make sure you're doing things that are realistic for you, and work through that. Work through 4 weeks. Then I'm going to be stalking you all on Facebook for the next month. Make sure you're doing it. There's 4 of us around if you have any questions, yell out and let us know.